Welcome along to Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. It's round 2 of the GT Summer Series. We're here live on the Gidlick Racing Instagram account to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up and get some look around the paddock as well. So very exciting stuff going on in the paddock already. They've been testing. We're about to go qualifying and racing here today in the GT Summer Series. We start at the top of our paddock with the 4F racing team. 4F with just one car here this weekend in terms of racing, and that is the Porsche. But they've also brought along their Mercedes-AMG GT3, so they've got a couple of different cars. And in fact, I learnt a little bit of something, that this car, the Mercedes, not racing with us, but it is about to move home. The Motor Park team, who we've seen previously in the Portimao 6 Hour, are based just over there, literally 100 yards. If I threw a stone, we could hit their windows, but we're not going to do that. They are taking on that chassis, so a little bit of exchange between some Winter Series regulars, which is cool to see. This is the car of Igor Klaya and Fabian Di Bianca that we'll see in the race later on, and we're looking forward to seeing how they perform. The Cup 2 class has been the most exciting class so far. We'll go inside and we're going to grab Martin. We're going to grab our team boss. Martin. Yes, sir, how are you? We've been having some fun with your drivers. We just found out, I think, that Igor has slightly better reactions than Fabian, which, given the age difference, is that a surprise to you?
No, I don't think so. You know, maybe the Igor is now more focused on the race weekends. Yeah, but maybe the Fabian a little sleep too long. That's the problem.
Teenagers.
I think both of them, every time when they jump into the car, they are 110% focused on the racing.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe after each session, when they jump out from the car, it will be similar.
Yes.
Reaction.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, we've just been doing some Heroes Arena content, which you'll see during the live stream, and they did a bit of reaction time challenge. It didn't go to plan, really, for anyone. But obviously you're here this weekend. You're going to be with us, I think, all year long, at least with Igor. And I understand that we haven't seen the last of Przemysław Biankowski either. It sounds like he'll be joining us again.
Yeah, I think the Przemysław back with us to Nürburgring.
Perfect.
Yeah, I hope. And some little problem with the car was, and we some missing part don't come on the time, and we cannot continue with the Przemysław here. And yes, I hope we join, and maybe I hope we join in the more cars even for the Nürburgring. We will see. I'm working on it, and I hope it will be. In the final, we have a lot of cars in this series, because I really hope this series it will be grow up and it's bigger and bigger. I remember when we started the Winter Series, 5 or 6 years ago. In the beginning, it was not so many cars, and now you see what's happened. Yeah, and I think in the next races it will be better and better. That we reserved the Winter Series 2 weeks ago, and
there we go.
For sure we see in the Winter Series.
Well, we always love having you, and we always thank you, of course, for being such a great supporter of the of all of the Gidlick Racing series. So we thank you for that. Obviously, you've run cars here at Oschersleben before, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe once or twice.
I don't understand you.
Have you've entered races at Oschersleben before with other championships?
Yes.
And so is this track a bit challenging to set up for a car, because there's a lot of different corners?
Yes, but now we drive with the Pirelli.
Yes.
Last year we drive here with the Michelin. We must change a little bit. But yes, over here I screaming like hell last year, because the Fabian on the last corner, he win the one race.
Yeah.
And we was so happy here. And I really like this track, because this old school track.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody will be angry for me to say like this, but it's love it, you know. It's a little like the rally style, and I think it's really the technical track, and yeah. We like the German tracks as well, yeah?
Yeah, they're really good fun. We'll let you get on with your work, sir, but always good to catch up with you. Martin from PTT Racing. We'll continue our trip around the paddock.
Super.
And get ready for qualifying, sir. Excellent stuff. As he alluded to, he's done quite a lot of driving in Germany. Of course, Poland has a strong national championship as well, which they're also doing. They're very busy this year at PTT Racing, but great that they're with us in the Summer Series and already planning to join us for the Winter Series in 2027 as well. We've sometimes had as many as 5 PTT racing cars on the grid in the Winter Series. We come to then the main area of our paddock for this weekend, which is in this awning section. We've got the Team SA Performance Porsche 992s at the moment, and actually I spot a driver. Mike, how are you, sir?
Good. I'm relaxing.
You are relaxing. This is a great angle. We're live on Instagram at the moment, sir.
Oh, no.
Now listen, you've already raced here before.
No.
I know. No.
Ah, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, you have.
MTG.
You have, and you've won here before as well. Do you think you've got an advantage?
I give my best.
Yeah. How is the car feeling? Because I imagine that the temperatures were a lot different when you raced here in March.
Yeah, the temperature is much higher now, but it feels good. Yeah, I think we found the right setup, and I give my best.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You really know how to live. This is great stuff, right? We're less than 2 hours from qualifying. You're soaking in the sun race.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Good to see you. Thank you, Mike.
See you later.
Yes, SA Performance with 2 cars now in the Cup 2 class as well, because we've got Urs Frick, who is now in Cup 2. Of course, he was running with a national licence before. Now he has his international, which means he can drive the 992 without restrictors, without ballast. The Grun car, the Audi R8. We won't wake up the member of staff, so let's keep it a little bit quiet. Oh, I've already woken him up. I'm so sorry, sir. We're having a look at this car because, of course, Berthold Grun will once again be joining us. He's now committed to a full season as well, very excitingly, for the Summer Series, so we'll see him all year long. This is his closest track. He's about 2.5 hours by big truck, 140 kilometres away from the Oschersleben circuit. There are some banners around the track as well from his Grünstabel business, so he's a good supporter of this circuit, and we really enjoy seeing him on the grid, and we have him all year, which is great news for the Summer Series. He'll be in the GT3 class, of course, in that Audi. W&S Motorsport have expanded out to 2 cars, and we've got 2 drivers very familiar to the Winter Series in this number 31 machine. We've got Maximilian Schreier, who made his racing debut in the Winter Series in 2025, and Frederick Zebis, who made his racing debut in the Winter Series just a few months ago. They're both pro drivers, so they'll be running with a lot more ballast than the sister car over there. So that will be really interesting because they'll be driving at different specs, at different power levels, and let's see how equal the performance is once we go there. They're getting a little bit of training, a little bit of knowledge before their primary campaign in the GT4 Germany series, but I think a few of our drivers here in the Summer Series will give them a run for their money. So we'll keep an eye on that. If you look over here to your right, cameraman, we've got the Heroes Arena going on at the moment. Izzy Browning, I think, has got Stefan Lehner ready for an interview. Tune in to the live stream to find out what he has to say. We're all very excited, I must say, in the paddock this weekend because there are lots of teams that are joining us now for a full season, which is always great news. And we've got a lot of people that will be joining us from Hockenheim, from Nürburgring onwards. We join the stable here at Seyfarth Motorsport. I'm going to see if I can't catch Bernd just momentarily. I'm going to be very bold here and see if I can't have a quick chat. You've got a mouthful of food, sir. I'm very sorry. How are you? You knew I was coming, to be fair. Catering's good here?
Catering's perfect, yes.
Special Koch here. Chef Koch. Chief Koch von company Pillar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his name is Lars, or did he steal the apron?
Yes, Lars. Lars.
Nice to meet you, Lars. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, perfect. So
No-
you see.
10 out of 10? Ah, yeah. So they're giving you ballast.
Yeah,
extra kilos.
We, especially, we need more weight on the front tires.
Excellent. Well, of course, you're here with not one but 2 Audis this weekend because you're also running in kind of Oschersleben's home series, the NATC Championship. For both of you, this is a lot of racing to do in 2 days. It's what, 5, 6 races?
That's why we are here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
the team is very close here, so we decided to have 2 races or 2 events. Yeah, so we are happy. Yeah, so we are pretty the whole day in the car. Yes. And we are doing eating. Yes. You see.
Is this better than going to the gym?
It's it's training. Training. NATC is a training for the GT Summer Series.
I see.
Okay.
And so is this the focus for your 2026 to try and win the GT4 AM Championship then?
Yeah, we try to. Yeah, we will. We want to do this.
But you started so well, of course, at Hockenheim. You had some brilliant results, and this is probably the track that you two know best. So this looks good, right?
Yeah, so we know it really best because we are most often here for training.
Yes.
Our team is very close here, so yeah, we hope that we have a good weekend and come home with some wins.
Yes. How many times do you think you've raced here? 10 times, maybe?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I drive 1,000 round in Oschersleben.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. Okay.
So it means 999 because that's why he is faster.
Excellent. So this is our Safe Art driving crew. Great to have Bernd and Tobias with us once again. Thank you so much for having a quick chat and interrupting lunch. I'll let you continue to sample Lars's brilliant work from here. Thank you, gents. Very, very good stuff.
Have a nice weekend.
Good luck in qualifying.
See you.
Don't go quicker than him in qualifying. It sounds like you're upsetting him. So that's their car for the Summer Series races. Of course, you can see some baked goods on there as well. I don't know if Lars is responsible for that, but we'll keep an eye on the Granary Audi as the weekend continues on. And a few more teams to take a look at. We'll go down next to Hermann Speck and the DB Motorsport entry. They've got a new car. They've got their Porsche 992 GT3R ready to go racing. And I just want to point out, of course, it's a new car to the team, but they have been racing or has been racing with a different team previously, but not much mileage on the car. Also, I think it's a question that maybe some of you will ask is this a GT3R or is it the new for 2026 GT3R Evo? The answer is that it's the GT3R. It's not the Evo kit. There are 2 easy ways to tell. If you look here, you have these rivets in. Now there would be dive planes on the car if it was in Evo specification, so there'd be a little more aero here on the front. There would also be some venting here above the wheel arch to give some more cooling, some more air to the brakes. So it is slightly different from the 2026 Evo spec. It is the version of the car they introduced for 2023, but of course last time out at Hockenheim, Hermann was driving a 2019 spec Porsche, so he's had a big upgrade, and we're excited to see how he drives in that car. One more team to touch on here. We do have other teams elsewhere around the paddock, but I don't want to make cameraman Timon walk that far. Equipped Vitesse are, I think, about half a mile away. We do have CCS Racing as well. Of course, this is the championship car at the moment, the car that leads the championship in the GT Summer Series. Thomas Vestarp driving incredibly well at the season opener in Hockenheim. He is another driver with good experience here at Oschersleben. He's won races in other championships here at Oschersleben. In fact, he had a great wet race fight with none other than GT Winter Series champion Kenneth Heyer last year here at Oschersleben. So we expect him to be very quick in the dry, in the rain, and there is a little bit of a rumour that we might get some rain on Sunday. That might suit this man very, very well. The GT3 class looking really competitive with the new car for DB Motorsport and Hermann Speck, with our championship leader Thomas Vestarp running as well, and of course with Equipped Vitesse being on the grid for the first time. We welcome them on to the grid for the first time. We've known them a lot, of course, in the Winter Series previously. Grun is, of course, also in GT3. The Cup 2 class, the most exciting category that we had in Hockenheim. So much great racing between them, and all of the fastest drivers are back once again. Of course, we saw Igor Klayer's car. The SA Performance Porsches are here. The XR Racing Porsche also in Cup 2. And then GT4, really interesting factor with that Pro Class car in amongst the AM competitors who have more power and less ballast than the others in the category. It's going to be a very interesting 3 races here today. We're going to have qualifying shortly for the GT Summer Series. Keep an eye on the results pages to find out what happens there, and make sure you join us at 15:45 Central European Summertime when we'll start to get going in the GT Summer Series. That's on the Summer Series YouTube channel. Also, make sure you follow the Summer Series Instagram page, because that's where we'll be doing a lot of the work this weekend and showing you what's going on here in the paddock. But from myself, Adam Weller, from Tim on behind the camera, who's waving at you, but you can't see him, we wish you well. We look forward to seeing what happens in the 3 races. Myself, Andy McEwen and Izzy Browning will be bringing you all of the racing action. Make sure you join in, make sure you tune in, and make sure you subscribe and follow so you can keep up with all things GT Summer Series.